Hi everyone, Petrik here. Today's video will be SFF Spotlight episode number 91. And before I start talking about the 15 topics I want to cover in today's episode, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who wished me congratulations in my YouTube post or on my Instagram page. It means a lot and I truly appreciate it, seriously. And also, of course, I truly appreciate you watching my SFF Spotlight episodes as well. Just 9 more episodes before we reach episode number 100. So yeah, that's surreal. But yeah, let's get started, okay? If this is the first time you're watching SFF Spotlight episodes, this is a series of videos where I usually talk about new book news, new cover reveals, new Kickstarter campaign, and also new special edition in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. So let's begin. For the first half of this video will be dedicated to new book announcement and also new cover reveals. And for the first one, this is about a new book by Brandon Sanderson. I knew about this one, or we all knew about this one ever since probably Dragonsteel last year. That's in December last year. It still feels, sometimes it feels like a dream that I actually went to Dragonsteel last year, and also feels kind of insane that I still haven't read Wind and Truth, even though that was the main book being highlighted in that Dragonsteel Nexus in December 2024. But for this year, the book being spotlighted, it will be Tailored Realities. This is a collection of novellas and possibly short stories as well, including a new title by Brandon Sanderson, I think Moment Zero, and the cover art is done by Brian Mark Taylor. This is an oil painting done by Brian, and I think it looks terrific. I actually met Brian when I was at Dragonsteel Nexus last year. He has done a lot of great artwork for Brandon Sanderson, or outside of Brandon Sanderson's books. It's amazing, really, and I highly recommend you to check out his portfolio. And I think this cover art, the US and the UK cover art, both features the same cover art by Brian Mark Taylor, and I think both looks amazing. Personally, I prefer the UK just slightly because I like having that circle in the center. But let me know what you think. Which one do you like more, the US or the UK cover art, even though they're technically the same illustrations. But yeah, this is a new collection of short stories and novellas by Brandon Sanderson coming this December. And I'm still not sure. I know many of you were asking me about this. I'm still not sure whether I will be going to Dragonsteel this year or not. I don't think that is possible due to my upcoming parenthood. But yeah, well, moving on to the next news, shall we? Brandon Sanderson is not the only one who has a new upcoming book this year. Apparently, Andrzej Sapkowski also has a new English translated Witcher, and this is for the Crossroads of Raven, and this is a prequel title. I think a prequel title to the entire Witcher novels, okay? Because this is about young Geralt of Rivia. Yeah, this is a tale about young Geralt, and the cover art is done by Jamie Jones. I think many of you know who Jamie Jones is. He's one of the most legendary artists in the science fiction and fantasy genre, and he has done a lot of great and fantastic artwork for, let's say, Hyperion by Dan Simmons, for The Curious King, or maybe recently the new cover art for the Hierarchy series by James Islington. And that's just a few. Jamie Jones has illustrated a lot of cover art in the industry, and I'm glad that they chose Jamie Jones to do the new cover art for the Crossroads of Raven. And yeah, I look forward to reading this one. I haven't actually read the 5 novels or 4 novels in the Witcher series, not counting the collection of short stories, and that is The Last Wish and also The Sword of Destiny. But I'm a huge fan of the games, and yeah, I cannot wait to play Witcher 4 as well. The tech demo looks amazing, and I hope the game will look as good as the tech demo. But more importantly, I hope it will play as fun as The Witcher 3. But The Crossroads of Raven will be released this September 2025. But moving on to the next title and the new book announcement, this is for the Book of Hold series, the second book by Bradley Beaulieu. This is, I believe, this is a Dragon Rider epic fantasy, and the cover art of this UK edition is being done once again by Mokina Art. So this one will match the design and the style of the cover art of the first book, The Dragons of Deepwood Fen. I haven't read this one yet. I have read only one book by Bradley Beaulieu, and that is The 12 Kings of Sharakai. Yeah, I felt mixed about that one. I still haven't continued past the first book in the Shattered Sand series. So if you have read that series, let me know what you think. But if you have read the Dragons of Deepwood fan, do let me know what you think about that as well. But the cover art looks beautiful. I look forward to reading this book. I am always a huge fan of Dragon Rider epic fantasy. And now, let's move on to talk about some indie stuff. The first self-published fantasy title I want to spotlight today, this will be for The Silver Crystal, the first book in the Red Kingdom by Ryan Lanz, with a new cover art by Jeff Brown. I believe there are plenty of books being released in this series already, but the entire series is getting a new cover art, a new cover treatment by Jeff Brown, my friend, and also one of my favorite artists. And I'm happy that the artist chose Jeff for this treatment. I think the new cover art looks beautiful, and I'm happy that Jeff is starting to feature more style to his cover artwork as well. Congratulations to Ryan Lanz and also to Jeff Brown for this great collaboration. And moving on to the next one, this is for a cover art done by an artist who is also the author of the book. I believe this is a debut novel, and this is for the book The Roots That Bind Us. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the author and also the artist is actually planning to have a new dust jacket which features an artwork by a different artist, Crayon or Anna. And yeah, I love both illustrations, whether it is the one done by the author or by Crayon. I think both of them looks amazing. And based on the premise, I'm definitely interested in trying out this novel. And I just want to say, again, congratulations to the author. This is an amazing feat. Both artist and also author, amazing feat, truly. And then moving on to the final one, this is a cover reveal, not for a new book, but this is a traditional published announcement. Yeah, a traditionally published deal announcement. And this is for the first step, the Thousand Lee series by Tao Wong. I think some of you might know this book or this series. This is a lit RPG or Xianxia series by Tao Wong. There was a Kickstarter campaign for the first book, and well, the news is out now. Ace Books is going to be publishing the traditionally published edition of this book and this series. I believe all three books will be out either this year or maybe next year. Possibly next year. And as you can see, the cover art features a totally different style compared to the self-published fantasy edition. Basically, this is something like a dungeon crawler car by Matt Dinniman. I think traditional publishing has finally caught up to lit RPG and progression fantasy, and they are starting to traditionally publish more lit RPG novels. And well, speaking of dungeon crawler car, I can only say and also confirm that once again, this series is just keep getting more and more popular because the Webtoon adaptation is coming sooner than I expected. Apparently, the Webtoon adaptation will be released in July 17, 2025. So that's only about 2 weeks from now. Yeah, not too long from now. Well, less than 3 weeks, but you get what I mean. So yeah, I think the panels looks amazing. I don't know how accurate they actually are. Some have actually mentioned they aren't too accurate, but I believe Matt Dinniman has allowed the artists a lot of flexibility and also freedom to actually interpret the story here. That's what I get anyway from the comments. I haven't read the books. I plan to read the book either in July or in August. That's my plan anyway. But yeah, congratulations once again to Matt Dinniman, such a great person. I had a great time talking to him at Dragonsteel Nexus and also being on the same panel with him at Dragonsteel Nexus last year. I think it is only right and also fitting that I finally read the books this year. But before we move on to the last section of today's SFF Spotlight episode, I just want to spotlight one more thing here, and it's about an ending to Vinland Saga by Makoto Yukimura. So I talked about this one in my previous episode, but the final date has been officially revealed, and the final date for the last chapter of Vinland Saga, the conclusion, the ending, it is the 25th of July. So yeah, that's less than a month from now. I can't believe this is happening. We're about to reach the ending of Vinland Saga. I've been reading this series for more than a decade now, and it feels like the end of an era. So yeah, I'm excited. It feels bittersweet, not gonna lie, but at the same time, I'm very excited about reading the ending and also watching the anime adaptation, the inevitable anime adaptation of Vinland Saga, the season 3, because the first 2 seasons were incredible, especially the second season. There were some scenes in that second season that truly moved my heart more than the books, more than the manga series, and that's awesome. Truly, I love when an adaptation can do that to me, and I think it is an adaptation done right. And I look forward to the third season of Vinland Saga and also the ending of the manga series. And well done to Makoto Yukimura for ending Vinland Saga at your own pace and your own preference. I think that's something that kind of rare now. Not too many series can reach that kind of outcome. But well, hopefully the ending will be satisfying. It won't satisfy everyone, as Makoto Yukimura said. No art can ever satisfy literally everyone, but he will have to do his best. Now, let's talk about Special Edition, the final section of today's SFF Spotlight episode. The first one I want to spotlight being revealed right now, or maybe today. This is for Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, the Curious King edition, the first ever letterpress and probably the highest grade edition of Assassin's Apprentice and the Farseer Trilogy. I hope Curious King will make the entire realm of the Elder Links. And this entire book, this entire edition, all of them are illustrated by Li Xin Yin, the incredible Li Xin Yin. And yeah, this is the cover art and also plus some of the interior illustrations of Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, the Curious King edition. And the pre-order date for this one, I think this will take place on the 15th of July. Yeah, so mark that date if you want to get this one, because this will sell out very quickly. I have no doubt about it, even though it is expensive. But based on Curious King record and also quality, there is no doubt that this one will sell out incredibly fast. So yeah, make sure to mark that date. I will make sure to spotlight this once more in my next episode of SFF Spotlight. But yeah, well done to Curious King for continuously keeping up the standard of their publication. And now, moving to the next one, being released, or well, the pre-order date will take place on the same date as Assassin's Apprentice Curious King edition. This is for the limited edition for the Folio Society edition of It by Stephen King. Full disclosure here, I haven't read It by Stephen King yet. I have only watched the movie adaptation, and it's not even the new movie adaptation. It is the older movie adaptation. Yes, for some of you, you might not know that there was an older It adaptation, but that was the movie that I watched when I was a kid, but I haven't read the book yet. I heard it is one of Stephen King's best work, and maybe I will give it a try or maybe watch the new movie adaptation. But I don't know, I don't have any plan to read this anytime soon. But you know what, this edition, for those of you who are a big fan of Stephen King, the Folio Society edition of It is coming soon, so mark that date as well. And still on the topic of high-end edition, the next one I want to spotlight, this is for the Lightbringer by Pierce Brown, the Subterranean Press edition. It is available to purchase now. And yeah, the cover art and also the interior illustrations, just like the previous two books, which is Iron Gold and also Dark Age, it is once again illustrated by Sam Burley. And yeah, the cover art, I think this is actually of Darrow. I know there were speculations about who is actually on the cover art, whether it's Lysander, Cascius, but now that the full and final cover art has been revealed, I think this is Darrow, yeah, based on the book. Lightbringer is one of my favorite sci-fi novels of all time. And I think this is Darrow, and the interior illustrations, again, all of them are done by Sam Burley. I will not go into detail regarding what scenes these are, but yeah, I think they look great, especially this one. But yeah, it is available to purchase. I don't think Subterranean Press has any plans to actually reprint the previous 5 books in the series. So if you don't have those, then you won't have a matching edition unless you are willing to actually buy from secondhand market, which will be super expensive. And onward to the next one. This will be brief. This is for the Conversation Tree Press edition for the Elric, the Chronicles of Elric. So Conversation Tree Press has announced they plan to do their own limited letterpress edition for the entire Chronicles of Elric series by Michael Moorcock. And yeah, this one, I think all titles and also all short stories or all novels will be compressed into 6 volumes. And these volumes, all of them will feature a different artist, such as Van Kovacs, Julian Delval, Mark Simonetti, and others. They haven't been mentioned yet, but based on the first 3 that I just talked about, they are all incredible artists. I'm a big fan of Van Kovacs and Julian Delval, and also Mark Simonetti's past work in The Song of Ice and Fire and This World, just to name a few. and of course Malazan, Book of the Fallen as well. But yeah, this one, I don't think this is being released within this year. I think this is being, the pre-order date, I think will take place at the end of 2026, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it is not happening this year. It is just an announcement that this is being worked on right now. The next edition by Conversation 3 Press will be for Tigana by Guy Gabriel K. I will make sure to spotlight that in my SFF Spotlight episode whenever it's ready. I know some of you are actually a big fan of Conversation 3 Press, and I want to satisfy everyone, well, as much as possible. Anyway, and onward to the final 3 topics of today's episode and also this section. This is for the Broken Binding edition, and for the first one, this is for the next subscription, the next fantasy subscription from the Broken Binding for the month of August until the month of October, and it is for the Between Earth and Sky by Rebecca Roanhorse, featuring a cover art by Reiko Murakami and also end paper by Kara Malikova and interior illustrations by Patricia Gutierrez, plus board art and also typography and also edges, all of them done by Rachel St. Clair. I actually had a great time working on designing this one together with Eon, my fellow art director on this project, and I think the result turned out really good in my opinion. Anyway, I'm trying not to be biased here, but I actually have a soft spot for minimal and also white cover art, and I want to implement that in Black Sun and also Fevered Star and also Mirrored Heavens. And I'm happy to see mostly positive reactions and also opinions to Between Earth and Sky. Again, as I said earlier, no art will ever satisfy everyone, and I'm just happy that, well, many are actually very thrilled, including Rebecca Roanhorse are very thrilled with the special edition. So yeah, those are for the fantasy subscription for the month of August until the month of October. And then for the next one, this is for The Art of Legend by Wesley Chu. This is for the third and the final book in the War Art Saga series by Wesley Chu. And again, I haven't read this series yet. It is one of my priority series that I want to start and hopefully finish within this year, but I'm not sure whether that's actually doable right now with how busy I am. But this cover art by Tran Nguyen, it looks absolutely amazing. I love the color green. I love her style of artwork. I think she is one of the best artists in the industry. You just can't tell immediately that it is her artwork, and she has this strength and power and capability to make every art look so unique, even though she has done so many of them. So many. But yeah, if you have read the War Art Saga, let me know what you think. I think the only thing that I know about this series, and also the only positive things that I heard, because I tried to be as blind as possible going into this series, is that Elliot Brooks, my friend, really loved the first book, The Art of Prophecy, and I think the second book, The Art of Destiny as well. And finally, for the final topic and the final special edition I want to spot today, this is for the sci-fi and space opera novel A Dirge for Cascius by Calum Lott, and this is for the Broken Binding launch edition. So this one will features new illustrations, not cover art, but new black and white interior illustrations by Robert Chotea. And yeah, I think it was 5 or 6 interior illustrations. I think they look really great. They showed the landscape and also the world building of the Dirge for Cascius. And yeah, this book has been re-edited. I believe the original reason was because the first edition, or the first edition of A Dirge for Cascius received plenty of criticisms. Well, mostly very positive reception, but some criticisms regarding how difficult it is to actually enjoy, because it is unforgiving in terms of difficulty, and some people prefers some hand-holding for this book. That's what I got anyway. I haven't read this book. This is based on what I heard. So yeah, this is a re-edited version of A Dirge for Cascius with interior illustrations by Robert Chotea. So yeah, well done to Calum Lott and also the artist for this collaboration, and of course to Broken Binding as well. I'm not involved in any part on the work for this one, but I'm really happy for Calum Lott. Me and also Calum are big fan of John Devlin, the cover artist, and well, I considered him a companion already just based on that. So yeah, those are really, I think those are the 15 news that I wanted to cover in today's episode of SFF Spotlight. And again, just like always, do let me know what you think about the news that I spotlighted in the comment section down below. Again, 9 more episodes before we reach episode 100. And yeah, I know that my content lately has been really full of book haul, TBR, wrap up, and SFF Spotlight with no reviews and also a list. Well, I plan to change that starting from the second half of the year, and hopefully I can do that. But for now, that's it from me today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.